Sewing and Crafting family, Angela Wolf here, and I'm super happy to be with you on this super hot day. Although I forgot to ask Chris if it's raining on his end of the lake because we're having a downpour over here. So what else is there better to do than to sew? So welcome everyone. We are streaming on Brothers Sewing and Crafting YouTube and Facebook pages. We can see all your comments and we are live today. And Amanda, you are the first one to comment, so thank you. I always love seeing your comments while we're getting ready. So you all know Chris Tock, he does super cool things, but he's not doing jeans today. He's doing something even better. He's going to be altering a men's shirt. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the fabric he's chosen because it's always crazy and it's always cool. So pop in, everyone, say hi. Let's welcome Chris Tock to the party. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Thank you, Angela, and good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah.
I am Tock Custom. I can't log into the YouTube, so sorry, but I can see chat at least. So hi, Sandy and Esther and Amanda and Donna and all the people from all over the place. Okay. Anyway, my name is Chris. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got to ask you, did you just get poured on? Because storm went from your end to my end.
Yeah, I got up at like 6 this morning, and my garden got plenty of rain, so it gave me the morning to chill, and it feels good. But yeah, it finally feels like summer up north here. For those of you that don't know, Angela and I are both in the Midwest between Wisconsin and Michigan, so we're finally enjoying the fruits of warmth right now, and rain and bugs.
True. So I'd love to see in the comments. I know you all have seen Chris on here before. He's also a Brother Brand ambassador. He's been working on some new cool things, the Brother Beginner course, very exciting projects, and he's known for his jeans and crazy fabrics. So I'm dying to see your fabric for the shirts today, Chris.
Well, actually, just while we're talking about jeans, I wonder if this is too inappropriate, just, let me know. But I'm wearing my beloved Hawaiian pinup girl, I don't know, 60s whatever jeans today.
I remember those. Didn't they match my skirt, I believe?
Yeah, we took a picture together in Austin while I was wearing those and like a sport coat, and it matched your whole thing. And actually, while we're here, it's this camera. Sorry, I'm always changing my cameras. I'm working on a pair of pants, and I was told I'm allowed to show these because, brother and Disney owns Marvel and whatever, but I'm making a pair of superhero jeans right now, which these are the fronts. They're done. This is, in my opinion, the hard part, but got my zipper all done. I'm just planning my embroideries for the back pockets and stuff like that. Anyway, that's just a little side fun project that I'm working on right now, but that's not what we're doing today.
Those are very cool, though. I've got to say, those are very cool. I'm working on a pair of jeans. Mine are very boring. They're just a pair of black jeans, so I might have to jazz them up a little bit.
Yeah, I got this stuff. I've used fusible webbing with paper backing for making patches and applique before, but I got this stuff that's like crazy heavy duty, so that when you make a patch and you cut it and you put the webbing on, it still kind of frays a little bit, or at least it does for me. This stuff should resolve that and also make it like really adhesive to whatever, which is great.
That's going to be awesome. Well, Chris, I'm going to let you take over. I'm going to sit on the sidelines, and if I see any questions pop up, I'll interrupt you. But I can't wait to see what you're going to do with this shirt.
Sounds good. Thank you for the introduction, Angela. And now I'm stuck with all of the viewers right now, or you guys are stuck with me, I should say. But anyway, I was going to, how do I do this? On this stream, my plan was to tailor a button-down shirt, and I made this shirt from scratch, and you can tell because I put my logo right here. I don't know what you call that, just above the breast pocket, but this was something. It's funny that this was requested of me by, I think, Angela or our rep or something like that, and it's just a funny coincidence because I had made this shirt as a birthday present for my friend, and it was too big on him. So I had to tailor this shirt anyway. And before I start, I'm just going to kind of explain how simple this is and how I'm going to accomplish it. In fact, let's just look at one side, because whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other side, right? So a lot of you guys might know how to do this already or whatever, but I'm going to show you the way that I do it. But obviously at the bottom and at the end of my sleeves, I hem it about half an inch or so, depending on whatever fit. And is this live yet? It's not for me. Oh, EA Jones, I hope you can see us. Anyway, I'm going to try not to get distracted. So here, let's do this. So if you guys have ever tailored like a t-shirt, you're probably just used to turning it inside out. So you can see the inside seam, right? So this is my seam that is serged, and it goes all the way to the tip of the sleeve. But I could just fold this over, do my measurements, and stitch this up, and then cut it and serge it and whatever. But then I'm going to get this really bulky thing here, and a bulky thing in the armpit, and a bulky thing on the bottom of my hem. So what I typically do is first I figure out how much fabric I want to take in, right? And then I undo my hems by about that much plus an inch. And this will make sense as we're going along. So anyway, I'm going to kind of start working on this. And this is a really like quick job. So I thought it would be kind of convenient to work on in front of you guys today. Plus, I just like being live, and now is the point where I'm going to try to just, work on this shirt and then see what you guys are talking about. So, sunny, hot Wilmington, North Carolina. Wait, Wilmington is the town on the beach, right? I used to live in Charlotte. I should know this stuff.
I'll tell you, it sure is, and I used to go there all the time in high school.
With your whole fishing campaign, yeah?
No, we used to live in North Carolina. We'd go to the beach as a family. Okay. Great place.
Yeah, that's good. My brother just moved to Black Mountain, which is like Asheville. But anyway, big love to anyone who was affected by those hurricanes, because that was rowdy. Anyway, here, I'll zoom in. I forgot I can do that because I got a nice camera here. So what I'm doing is I am out of focus, obviously. I'm just, I always do like a back stitch on my hem. So of course I have to really get in there and pop some stitches. But I'm just popping stitches on 4 different corners of hems. So just the hems on my sleeves and the hems on the bottom. In fact, I should have done like half of them to save myself some time, but this is not going to take the whole hour. In fact, I think I offered to tailor 2 different types of shirts on this stream, and either Angela or Nicole was like, no, let's just take it easy. You don't have to overdo it, Chris. You've already proven yourself. All right. No. Well, obviously you guys are from all over the world, but I want to know, what are you guys working on? Either what are you learning, what new skills are you learning, or what projects are you working on? And I'm asking because I think people like us, and I can say us, are generally always learning something new or working on something to challenge ourselves. And that's the kind of thing I want to hear about. All right. So I got about 2.5 inches unstitched that way, and I'm going to go 2.5 inches the other way. And again, this might be overkill, but it's just when it's done, it's going to look so much better. Did English paper piecing for a quilt. I bought a quilt kit from a quilt expo. It was like one of those pre-made things with the paper and all the fabrics, and you're supposed to like stitch right through the paper onto the fabric, and then you end up with a giant quilt. The guy gave me a great deal on it, and I still haven't made it. In fact, I've never made a quilt, and I'm ashamed of myself for admitting that in front of a live audience of sewing enthusiasts.
I'm with you on that, but I have to laugh, Chris. Kathy said she did English paper piecing, and then like her next comment is like, I'm never doing that ever again.
That's funny. Yep. All right. Here, let me I should have my keyboard over here so I can do this a little bit more easily. So I'm going to show off just this one because they're all the same. So all I did was oh, of course, I missed part of it. Beep, 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 beep. But yeah, I still, oh yeah, so I should probably mention something really cool that I'm working on. Not necessarily as a sewing project, but something bigger in terms of things I get to do with brother. But sorry for the cliffhanger for a second. Okay. So here's my sleeve hem, right? I just unstitched about 4.5 or so inches. It's a rolled hem. So I'm going to unroll the whole thing, right? And that way, when I fold my seam on top of itself, I'm going to take this in about 2 inches on both sides, which means adding a 1-inch seam allowance because you're doubling up your fabric when you do that. You guys all know that. Or if you don't, you know what? Let's pretend that there's someone new here. If I take in 1 inch of a seam allowance, that's 1 inch of fabric on this side and the other, so it's taking in 2 inches. And on both sides, I'm shrinking the shirt by 4 inches all the way around, which is pretty good. This will make it a men's large to like a large slim, which is great. So anyway, I'm going to do this to the other sleeve and the bottoms, and then I will show you what happens after that. This is so easy. Like this is great. So anyway, the thing that I'm working on that I'm very excited about is I don't want to reveal too much, but we have some new direction between the ambassadors. I don't know if Angela has talked about this on any live streams. And don't worry, don't start sweating, Angela. I'm not going to say too much. But we've got a lot of extra support, which is excellent, right? And I think we're all very happy so far. I certainly am. And part of that new support is we've got, or at least I've got, a more robust contract to bring you guys more educational content and just more content in general. So I was browsing around on YouTube for sewing tutorials in 4K, like really high definition professional grade equipment. And I genuinely could not find any sewing tutorials in 4K. So I was like, what if I did a whole new series for Brother and for my channel of sewing tutorials for beginners, starting with how to thread a machine all the way to how to make a suit or how to make jeans or how to get into machine embroidery or how to cross stitch, and film the whole thing in 4K with like really good lighting and microphones and cameras and stuff like that. And the first couple of videos turned out like really well. Did I make my own fabric? No, I did not make this. I got this from a quilt shop close by, and unfortunately they went out of business, which is a shame because this fabric designer, I made a bunch of pairs of flower pants out of this stuff. Anyway, I'm filming a whole brand new series. I think 2 of the videos have launched, and I'm calling it the 4K sewing series. And I'm being an ultra perfectionist because I want to film videos that are so good that I'll never have to film these tutorials ever again. That's my plan. So anyway, as of a couple of weeks ago, we launched a whole new campaign of videos, and they'll be releasing, I think, every Saturday or every other Saturday. Okay. Anyway, my bottom hem is now unhemmed by about 1.5 inches on either side. So that's one side done. Okay. And just for the sake of people that want me to spoil the surprise, the way this is going to work is we're going to take this to the sewing machine eventually. I'll do it after I unhem the other one. And I'm going to mark 1 inch in from our stitches here and just sew all the way up the side. Cut a little bit out of the armpit seam so it's not too bulky, and then just rehem after we serge this stuff. And then all of a sudden, poof, you've got a shirt that's tailored and bespoke and fits you perfectly. Made the sewing tote working on mug rugs. What is mug rugs? All right. So anyway, that took me a whole, I don't know, 4 minutes to undo those two hems. Now let's do the other side, and then we can... And actually, hold on, before I even do this shirt is, I think, pretty much my size. So let's try this on first so you guys can have a look at... God, I look like Ace Ventura right now. That's crazy. Crazy shirt, crazy pants. Actually, this shirt fits me pretty well, but the guy I'm making it for is very fit. So, wow, I look like... I don't even know. There's... No one has style like what I'm wearing right now. At least with these pants and this shirt. What do you think, Angela? Is this a good look?
I had my mic off. That is quite the look there, Chris. Quite the look.
Thanks. All right. So this would fit me, actually. Because as I'm getting older, I just turned 41.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. And it's funny, I went up for dinner with my dad, and the server was like, "Oh, happy birthday." My dad, of course, was like, "Guess how old my son is?" And I was like, "Dad, seriously? Don't do that to this person." And she was like, "I don't know, maybe like 32 or something." And I was like, "Come on. Thank you for being nice to me, but you can be honest." And she was like, "I don't know, 33." Like she said, "I think you look like you're in your early 30s." And that made me happy because I don't have any gray hairs in my beard yet. And maybe because
I don't either.
Maybe because I look immature. Yeah, you look super young. I don't actually even know. You know what? I'm not even going to keep speaking right now.
Yep, we're ending that conversation right there, Chris.
Yeah. I wasn't going to ask, but I don't know, and I don't want to know. That's all I'm going to say. But you look fantastic, and even more than that, you've been a wonderful personality to host the show and all of the amazing things you do for the sewing community.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. So anyway, if anyone is new to sewing or wants to learn different elements or I don't know, whatever, I put at Tock Custom on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But I always imagine that all the people watching these live streams already know way more than I do about sewing. So I feel like I'm just kind of some novelty act. Like, oh, let's put the young kid on camera to pretend that he knows what he's doing. But I kind of do. I've made some cool stuff. Especially when, if anyone has been part of the cosplay or costume making community, that really throws you in the deep end real fast. Because you're not just sewing, you're leatherworking and you're casting and molding and painting and texturing and weathering. Like there's so much skill and technique that goes into costume making. So that's kind of where I started. So taking a step down into fashion is kind of a walk through the park sometimes. Not you, Ramona. Not you. What are you saying that you're happy to be learning from people right now? Good morning, Lorraine and Dee. We are all learning together. You know what's funny? So every time I tag brother on like Instagram, they always say something like, woohoo, keep it crafty, or, whatever. But then they put their initials. I don't know who those initials are. I need like a cheat sheet. So whoever Brother Sews is that says RP, I need to know. Oh, look who's here. It's my kitty cat. Hi, baby. So I got 2 new cats, and I love them very much. They're lovely. But anyone who has expensive sewing equipment and cats probably knows that it can be quite a disaster. For example, this 10 needle embroidery machine has a 10 needle thread tree on top. And when my cats jump into it, it's like a spider web for them. And they freak out, and then they run all over the house, and I get string or thread literally drawn all over my house. Relearning and refreshing. The kitty names. My cat's name, they're twin brother and sister. They look identical, but their names are Thor, God of Thunder, and Xena, Warrior Princess. Those are my cat's names. God, I really hemmed the heck out of this thing. Sorry. Of course, I'm making boring conversation. Yes. Yes, RP. Please get me cheat sheets on who all of you anonymous people are, so that... Oh, are we allowed to talk about the thing in August? Or should I just pretend that doesn't exist and no one knows anything?
Are you talking about BEX?
I'm talking about BEX. I'm talking about the brother experience.
That's always very much fun. All the brother dealers get to see all the new products coming out that we cannot talk about right now.
You know what? So I didn't go last year because apparently, I think there wasn't a lot of new stuff to share except for is it the Luminaire? I'm sorry.
No, the Avenir came out last year.
Last year, yeah, I don't have it, so forgive me. But it looks super slick. But I will be very excited to hang out with dealers and showcase whatever we got going on this year. So anyway, for those of you who don't know what BEX or the Brother Experience is their annual trade show where they announce and showcase all the new machines and some of the biggest Brother approved dealers from around the country or maybe other countries. Kitty, you can't sit on the shirt that I'm actively... Look at this. Are you seeing this? You guys have probably dealt with this. I hope my friend Peter isn't allergic to cats. Oh, you are so cute. I just want to squish you. And of course, now my cats have me talking like I'm talking to toddlers right now. Zeus and Loki.
Chris.
Oh, nice. Great names, Kathy.
Your upper camera is frozen, Chris.
Oh, that's interesting. Hold on.
Patty said your cat's known as a pattern weight. I love that.
Yeah. Actually, I got to switch a battery, apparently. Which is fine, because I charged one last night. Here, let's pretend. Thank you for the heads up on that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was like, either your cat's not moving or something is crazy.
Yep. All right. You know what's funny is if I was a full-time sewing streamer on Twitch, creative, if anyone knows what that is, for 5 years. So I'm I've got pretty steel nerves when it comes to technical difficulties during a live stream. Oh, look at that. And it's back in action. Just,
All
wow,
right, back to
that was
you.
too easy. Usually there's a lot more shouting and sweating involved. And now you guys get to see my cat chewing on something. Here. Kitty. You want to look up at this camera? Kitty, what's this? What's this? Oh, look. Look at the camera. Oh, yes. I tricked you into looking at the camera. That was pretty cool. My girlfriend would freak if she saw that. She'd be like, oh my God, our cat is a celebrity. He's a movie star right now. All right. I've got plenty of unhem. Sorry, I should probably talk about what I'm doing. I tend to over unhem this as much as I can, because if you don't do it enough, it's kind of annoying. So it's better to unhem more than less. Especially since we're going to rehem the whole thing anyway, so you're not even going to be able to tell. But yeah, so anyway, I think what I can... Kitty, don't grab onto this. That's what I'm working on. You need someone to clip your nails, too, you little monster. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I can't wait to see you and all of the amazing brother staff at BEX. That's going to be a lot of fun, because I didn't see anyone last year, and I miss you guys. Oh, I should have prepared... I don't even know if I should bring this up, or if Angela could somehow magically make it appear, but we got the most amazing group picture of all of the ambassadors and the marketing staff. Well, actually, some of those folks don't even work there anymore, so whatever. But still, it's it's one of the most fun pictures ever.
It was a good one. Hey, D, his YouTube channel is Tock Custom.
Oh, keeps correcting me to Raw. Yeah, it says it right down there on my camera, right under my cat. It says at Tock Custom on YouTube. So I have to, by contract, which I'm happy about, by the way, I'm not complaining, produce a minimum of 24 videos in the next 12 months. Well, the next 10, because it's already been a couple of months. So I think so far I've shot and submitted 8 videos, and it's how to sew, how to thread a machine. My second one was 14 simple sewing stitches for beginners, and then it's all the different tools I use in my workshop, tools of the trade, and then how to make a pillow, how to make a pattern, how to read a pattern, like a store-bought pattern, how to do embroidery, how to make patches, and then I'm going to be doing applique and more intermediate garments construction, tote bags, it's going to go on and on. In fact, at some point I'm going to run out of ideas, and I'm going to need folks like you to tell me what you want to learn. Okay. I think I've got this mostly on him. I can't believe my cat is literally taking a bath on this project that I'm working on. That is really adorable. Okay. All right, sweet kitty, I have to move you for a moment. Meow. Because I have to show the viewers at home what they're about to learn. Okay. What do you really? You're just gonna walk right into it. And I know you're not hungry because I fed you. Scoot. Kitty. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah. BJ, exactly. Exactly. So now that I've got, here, let's do a zoom in here where my cat is not sitting. So now that I've got my hems, and there's 4 of them. There's 2 on the under sleeves, right? And then there's 2 on the bottom of the waist. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Look at this cat. I'm going to get fired for this, Thor. You're going to get me in so much trouble. I'm going to get an email from someone saying, hey, this isn't Kitty Cat Show. This is Brother Live Sewing Show. Oh, we got so much time. All right, anyway, I'm going to stitch. It might be kind of hard to see it because it's black stitches. Right here is where my original stitch is. I'm not going to mark this with chalk. I'm just going to use the 1-inch seam allowance on my plate to just do the stitch. This probably won't fit me after I alter it because this shirt is not for me. It's for a friend of mine. I'll try it on just to see if I still feel skinny enough to fit into a large, slim shirt. But anyway, I'm going to take this by the tip of the sleeve through the armpit and down to the bottom of where my waist would be here. I've unhemmed the sleeve and the bottom. Now I just have to, I'm not going to press it because I just really don't need to. And I don't need to pin it either. I just need to make sure that it goes in flat. So let's go over to the Stellaire here, which this machine is probably the best thing that ever happened to my sewing career, or whatever you want to call it. And I couldn't really, I don't know if this is a great angle or not, but try to get it a little bit tighter of a shot here. There we go. Oh yeah, and right before this stream, this is really funny. One of my cats got in the thread tree of my serger over here. So all the threads were like wrapped around the machine. But thankfully, this is the airflow. So I was able to rethread it in like 2 minutes. And if this was like my 1034D, I would have been furious because I would be sitting here sweating trying to rethread my serger right before a live stream. But thankfully, that thing is a breeze. Okay. Now, I'm just going to do a straight stitch. Just want to make sure I'm matching up my raw edges. My 1-inch mark is there. And I'm going to match up not the edge of the fabric, but where I put the original stitch with that. And I won't be able to see that mark on the plate, so I have to kind of trust my sewing intuition along the way. Now, all I'm looking to do is just do a straight stitch and make sure the fabric stays flat. That's it. And I can be fairly loose with my interpretation of how I want this to go. That's kind of something that's nice about alterations is you can, I don't know, once you get a feel for how certain things fit people, it just gets, it's almost like you're born with the knowledge to make certain alterations. Okay. One thing you have to be careful of is not to go too far, not to alter too much, because if you make it too small, well, I'll show you a trick actually. All right, so I'm at the bottom, backstitch, cut thread, right? That's one side done. I don't know if you can see that. I'll show it on the camera or on the table. And sorry, I can't read chat when I'm at this machine. Hi, sweet kitty. Look at this. Oh, baby. Look at this kitty. Don't you be drinking my coffee when I'm not looking either, by the way. Okay. Oh yeah, BJ, you should see my basement. I've got even more. And then off camera, you can't see it, but I've got the Print Moda Studio fabric printer and the SP1 sublimation printer from Brother as well, and my scan and cut. So I got a whole lineup of pretty wicked machines here. Okay. I need a bigger workshop like Angela's got. She's got a huge workspace. You guys would be embarrassed if you actually saw what my studio looked like in real life. Okay. Or I'd be embarrassed, I should say. So now I'm going to do the other side seam, starting with the sleeve, matching up my stitch with the 1-inch mark there. I'm probably being a little bit careful. It's probably just under 1 inch, just because I don't want to over tighten this thing. But it's pretty close and it'll be fine. Plus, I made the thing. If I mess it up, I'll make another one. Oh, I almost just made a huge mistake. I was just thinking about, like, I was going to say, hey, how does everyone feel about the drama with the fabric stores and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? That's probably not something I'm allowed to or should talk about on a live stream. But
is this when I have to pop in, Chris?
Sure.
It's like not a Brother product. Everybody's laughing.
I'm just talking about like the accessibility of fabric is more of what I'm getting at.
I gotcha.
But
well, actually, I've been walking around for half an hour looking for one bolt of fabric, and I cannot find it. I cannot find it anywhere.
Well, unfortunately, I have to, like, right now, I have to go to Chicago just to get to a good, like, fashion warehouse to get good stuff, because locally, where I live, there is nothing for good fabric. And I still have I've had terrible luck with ordering fabric online. My favorite thing is actually going to quilt shops because they have the goofiest fabric like this. A whole building. Well, Phyllis, I would love to have that kind of space. In fact, it's on one of my goals lists, is to have a whole building for my workspace. But yeah, my first sewing area or workshop, I was living in an apartment and I had a corner on the floor that I would sew on. I didn't even have a table to put my sewing machine on. It was just like a corner, a carpeted corner. It was really hard, but I was determined to make a costume and I did it. San Antonio, working on my 40th wedding anniversary dress. That's pretty cool. Nice. And happy anniversary. My dream machine. Okay. So let's review, not that thing, this thing. Or I don't know if review is the right word. But let's see where we're at. Here's our progress. So that was like step 1 and 2 complete. Step 1 was unhem. Step 2 was stitch my new seam. Yeah, you can see that on camera. So here, I stitched in about 1 inch. Where's my ruler? Let's see how close I got freehanding a 1 inch. Okay, it's a little less than 1 inch. It's like 3/4, which is probably safe. It's like 7/8. That's like 8. That's like 1 inch. Okay. So I've got my new stitch. So the shirt will be slimmer at this point by about probably 3.5 inches all the way around. I don't think this will fit me. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Sandra, I'm very excited about all the new videos that we're producing right now. And there's a new one coming out on Saturday. And then, ooh, actually, okay, so I should mention, I'm trying this on now, which if you guys are tailoring shirts, you should always try it on before you trim your seam or serge it, because if it's too tight, you can still pop those stitches out and loosen it up a little bit. Actually, this is kind of sharp right here. I don't know. I mean, if I was going for like the muscly, like, hey, I'm walking around on the beach with my shirt that's way too small look, then that would kind of work. But anyway, I might even need to make this slimmer for my buddy. But I think this looks pretty good. So anyway, at this point, I'd be like, hey, I'm happy with this fit. Thank you, Jenny. And for anyone who joined late, I made the shirt from scratch, and I'm teaching you guys how to tailor it. Because sometimes you make yourself a garment and you realize, you know what, I gained weight or I lost weight or whatever. Like my deal with pants, I've been bouncing between 32-inch waist and 36-inch waist for the last year, and it's annoying. Anyway, what am I? Okay, so now that I'm happy with my new seam, I guess you just call this a side seam on a shirt. I almost called it like an inseam, but that doesn't make sense because this is not a pair of jeans or pants. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. It's still unhemmed on these edges, and I'm going to serge it just right up along the edge of that new stitch we did, which is going to take out a little bit of that bulk and extra fabric. So we can pop over to our Airflow 3000, which when I got this machine, I think I was happy for like a month. And I'm not trying to be like a salesman about it. Like I really legitimately freaked out that, oh my God, I've got a serger that I don't have to worry about threading by hand anymore. Like, plus it gives me the chance to switch thread colors frequently, which I like doing. Anyway, here's my new seam. I don't know if you can see it on that vision of camera, but I'm going to line this up, make sure it's flat. A serger can easily destroy projects if you're not careful, so I want to be very careful. And I also want scissors because thread trimming. Okay. I'm just going to blast through this because it's noisy, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, trim my thread tails if I can. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a normal looking seam now. So now I'm going to do it to the other side. As I'm sure you can imagine. And then we're just going to rehem it. It's that easy. So it's, I mean, I guess you could call it 4 steps, right? Unhem, stitch, serge, rehem, right? Maybe measure. Maybe that should be one. I think I did a tutorial on this years ago, but I'm going to do a new one with better cameras. Okay. All right. Let's take this back to the table and see. There's something I want to try doing that I often not struggle with, but sometimes when I tailor shirts, I just get a little bit of like a pinch in the armpit, and I'm going to clip that curve, which might be a bad idea because I don't want it to fray. I could actually like clip it and then re-serge it. But I just want to thin this out a little bit because sometimes it just gets too bulgy in the in the armpit there. So that should be good. And do the other side. And then we're going to redo our hems. And that's it. You cut the thread tails right up to the fabric. I usually cut it right up to the fabric because in most cases when I'm serging, not all cases, but in most cases, I'm either hemming that edge or I'm sewing it into another seam that's going to end up getting hidden anyway. So I'm not worried about trimming it too close and then the threads falling apart, if that is what you're asking. In fact, I mean, other than things with lining, I don't really have raw edges in any of my fabric in projects. But I'm not a quilter. In quilting, there's tons of raw edges. It's not like you serge the backside of every single quilt square that you make, right? That would be a ridiculous waste of time. Okay. Now, let's take a look at something. There we go. Here we go. So I'm going to zoom in. Oh, it's still in focus. Look at that. All right, so this is what we just did. We just did this new seam and this new serge. And thankfully, because this was hem before, it wants to just naturally kind of follow that rolled hem. I don't even have to iron this. All I have to do is just lay this flat the way that it was, and then do a stitch from where I pop my stitches out here, across, and then rejoin it here. So I'll have 4 of those to do, like 5 inches each or so, and then clean up my threads, and that's it. And then you just tailored a shirt. You can do it with dress shirts too. You can do it with t-shirts. In fact, with t-shirts, I don't even unhem the stuff. I just straight up stitch and serge, and then it's done. But I've done it with dress shirts. I've done it with t-shirts. I've done it with button-down shirts or button-up shirts. Technically, there's a difference between button-up, button-down, and dress shirts. They're 3 different types of shirts, even though they all sound the same. And now we are going to look at this timing. I just get lucky every single, well, most of the time on these live streams. There was one time I made a t-shirt from scratch in an hour on a live stream, and it wasn't anything to be proud of, if I'm being honest. I'm going to take the little thing off here so I can make use of the round arm on this machine. And typically with knits and wovens, I will hem this from the inside just because it's easier for me to capture that edge. I do prefer my needle in the middle, though. I don't know why, but I just get so much better control. So anyway, as you can see, when I pull this tight, well, maybe you can't see, but pretend you can see this. When I pull this tight, it just the hem wants to fall back the way it was before. So I just stitch it, cover the old stitch, do a back stitch, trim my thread, and now one of my 4 hems is now repaired and complete. So I'm going to do this 3 more times, and then you guys will be free of me for the rest of, I don't know, the summer. I don't know when my next spring is, or when my next stream is. Okay. Unless there's any dealers watching, in which case you'll see me in Austin in August or whatever. Do you use the computer walking foot? I only use walking feet for like leather and certain types of vinyl or really sheer fabrics um like brocades and stuff, or fabrics that like to shift. Like I was making some drapes the other day and it was just shifting like crazy. So in fact, I have a machine dedicated with a walking foot that's just always on it for top stitching and for weird fabrics. It's also really nice for upholstery. I've been this isn't it's kind of a sewing related thing. I built a couch from scratch last year. Like I cut the wood, I made the schematics, I built the whole thing from scratch, which I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea. But it's turned out really well, and I foamed it, and I did straps and springs and all that. And now I'm, excuse me, I hurt my back, but now I'm back on upholstering it. And it's so funny that upholstering a couch is like the easiest part because I just understand shapes and sewing and pattern making and measurements and all that stuff. So, all right. Anyway, here, let's pretend I'm going to do this whole song and dance right now. I'm going to get my favorite thread snips, and I'm just going to do this for one. So anytime you're, obviously re-hemming or repairing a seam or whatever, Austin this summer can be very warm, Lorraine. That's an understatement. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Hold on. What am I doing? All right. So here is what happens when you rehem something. Is you get kind of a gnarled, collection of thread like that. And I'm just going to clean this up. I'm just going to do one of them. So I always clean up my threads on the outside of the garment first. And then I pull the threads in from the back. And I'll have to do 2 on either side. So, but I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to stitch work. Like, if I see handmade stuff that doesn't look better than store-bought things that I've made, it makes me really feel like a failure or something like that. So anyway, pretend I just cleaned up all my threads and I'm like, oh, it's time to go to the beach. I got to put on my new beach shirt. Then I just put this baby on, button it up, and now all of a sudden I've got, I don't know if anyone was watching at the beginning of the stream, but I tried this on. It was a little baggy. I'm going to do a couple of buttons so you can see that this. Also, my microphone is hopefully not getting scratched up by this shirt. Here we go. So now we've got a nice fitted slim shirt that I've still got, I don't know, a few inches of wiggle room in here. I could probably get away with this right now, at least this week. This looks pretty good. And if you want it to look really good, like I don't work out that much. I go for a lot of walks, but like if I wanted to make my arms look really big, I could just tighten the sleeves, just really make it look like I got some pythons in my shirt.
That shirt looks good.
Thank you very much. But yeah, that's it. And sorry if I went over time or anything like that, but that is my method for tailoring a button-up short sleeve shirt in, I mean, I could honestly have done this in about 12 minutes if I was taking my time.
And the cat wasn't helping.
Sorry, say that one more time. I bumped into something.
And the cat was not helping.
he was and he wasn't. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people in chat seem to enjoy seeing the cat out there.
Of course.
But yeah, so that's it. I have really grown to love doing these streams. I'm always happy to do this, and I never really know what I'm going to be asked to do, but I just hope I'm not letting you guys down when you have me on to be a guest.
It's super fun. You always come up with something great. And I just looked, and you are here in July, so you're going to see them before you go to 120 degrees in Austin. So
Wait, I am where in July?
On my show here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I am. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Sorry, I might have jumped the gun on that.
Everybody's saying great job. So by the way, if you're watching the replay, even you can leave your questions. I'll send them over to Chris, and he can answer those for you. It's been a really fun show today. Anybody have any last minute questions for him? Everyone says they like the shirt. Looks good on you.
Yeah, and you can shoot. My email is chris@tockcustom.com, or you can find it on my website, which Angela very nicely put at the bottom of the screen there. So got a ton of new videos coming out all for the whole rest of the year, going into next year, and hopefully many years to come. So everything is shot. Yeah, everything is shot in 4K, and I hope that you guys enjoy it, especially if you're learning. Or I do get a lot of compliments on people saying like, "God, you're so calming. I'll just put on a sewing video and fall asleep to your videos." And that makes me happy. I don't know how true that is, but it makes me happy.
That's all good. Everybody's saying they love the shirt. They love the shirt. They love it.
Oh, Jenny, I made a smoking jacket out of that two-tone sequin stuff. You know, when you wipe it one way, it turns one color, and it's like gold lining and then red and silver sequins. And I took it to Dragon Con. It was outrageous. People freaked out. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Deborah. And anyway, I'm not trying to kill time because I know we got 2 minutes left. You guys are almost out of the opportunity to make fun of us right now.
Well, you know what I'll do is I'll end it with the video showing the Avenir and the new buttonhole placement with the projector, which is amazing. So Chris, it's been a great tutorial. Everyone, thank you for coming today. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Kathy Gandy's in the house. I forgot what she's doing though. Something cool. She always has something cool.
Well, thank you so much, Angela. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of this broadcast, and we'll see you in July.
Till next time, everyone. Happy sewing.